are doing, guys? You're simply taking like a structure, a design from the, you know, from a particular person actually. That person is like engineer or architect, whatever it is, like giving a design, and based on that, we are building a house, a real house. That real house is object. Okay, that real house is an object. But if you see the class is a blueprint, that design which we are following it and it's helping us. Both are the part of OOP concept, that is object oriented programming language. So let's understand about, if you have a class, you are creating objects, we understood it. It means you are defining inside functions, that's methods, you are defining some data attributes inside, and you are describing what will be the behavior of an object. Who's defining that? It actually, whatever methods you have, that is defining the behavior of an object. So let's understand how to do it and how to go through it. So I'll be sharing. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Okay, let's start it. So I'm going to type it here. First, my class is a keyword. I'm going to write here. And now I'm going to do one thing. I'm having a house brand. I am having like other types of bags. So let's say bags. Okay, so let's say bag. Okay, make sure you guys are going to use like this only. Okay, B should be capital. Okay, like in uppercase. Why? Because it's a class. It's really important to understand whenever you are defining a class, the class name should be in the first letter should be in a capital form. Okay, so this is really important. Now we need something very important to define it. Example, I am telling you there is like a house you need to build. Okay, so you need like a design, a blueprint. So blueprint is your class. Okay, blueprint is your class. I am saying you need a rock, you need a particular soil, particular brand and all. You need to initialize. You are initializing that, and then you are just finding a method how to you mix them and all, how to build it. So all these things we are defining inside class only. So I'm just telling you simply my my class name is bag. I want to use something like a def, which is a define, it's a keyword we are using. And once you're defining a keyword, we are telling the computer that one thing here, that's like using in it, that is spatial kind of variable, or you can call it constructor. You can call it constructor to initialize attributes, guys. Attribute in the sense, whatever things you need to build a house, whatever things you need to know the bag is, like brand, model, other things and all, you can just initialize. On the basis of that, then you want to print something. So let's understand. Init is the constructor, guys. So it is helping us to initialize attributes. So let's say I'm going to use self first keyword. What is self? Self is a keyword actually which is helping us to refer something. An example, new person will join here, is going to tell me, I'll be acting as a referral. I'm going to tell you, oh hi guys, this is this person, and hi, and this is my batch 6. Okay, so this is how we are just going through it. So self is working with that. If you want to change the self name, you can change it, no problem, but this is how we are using it. So I'm going to use brand, my bag brand. What's my bag brand name? Okay, that kind of thing. So I'm going to say my brand, and after that I'm going to use, like, for example, there's a model number. Okay, model number like this. So I have initialized. You have to work with two things. One is brand, another is model number. That's model number of my bag. Okay, I did it. Now this self is going to help me. How it is going to help me? I'm going to instance attribute. Instance attribute, how to create it? So simply you have to tell the computer self dot brand equal brand. So you are telling the computer whatever brand value you will get, make sure you will store in this self. You are initializing it here. If you create a new function on the bottom, you don't need to again define brand, model num. No, you have to add self, and self knows which is brand, which is model num. Self knows everything about it now. So same way you have to use self dot model num like this. Once you're done with it, you have to do one thing. Now let's So what I did here, I have used a constructor, guys. This is the constructor. I'm again just going to tell you, this is constructor. Okay, the constructor, I want to initialize here attributes here which I want to use. I did it, I initialized it. Now I'm going to do one thing here. I'm going to use actually methods. I already told you there is like something you're initializing and now you want to use them to make the particular thing. So I want to display something in the particular output screen. For that, what I'm going to use is simply, I'm going to use like a method. Okay, method is like simply you're using functions, and I want to method to display bag details. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, again define a function, and I'm going to define like a function. For example, I want to make it dis. Okay, that's a displaying. I'm going to display something. Now I want to show in an output screen brand and model number. For that, what I need to do is, you don't need to define again self.brand, self.this. No. Actually, you have to use like here self knows everything about it, so use it and define a function. Once you're done with the function, what you guys going to do is simply use now print, and I'm going to say hi. Okay, hi, my bag brand name is, and here I'm going to use this format function, and model number is. Okay, so let me make it like this. Okay, model number is, and then I'm going to do one thing here. I'm going to use here a very important thing, that's like again this one, because these are the like symbols of my particular format function. Once you use format function, what you need to do is simply, for example, if I'm using format function, if I'm using like this format, and then you're using here self dot brand. Okay, so here I'm going to self dot brand, comma self dot model number. Okay, what I'm trying to make you understand is simply I'm creating a function and I'm just using it, and I'm self.brand refers to this, and model num is referring to this. Correct? This is how we are using. You can use different way also using directly f. So I created my particular, see if I run it here. So I need to do one thing here. I need to understand here very important thing, that is like a class that I have defined a blueprint of an like a object, that is my class. I'm using a keyword, and the class name is bag. I have defined a constructor so that it can initialize what are the things I want to display in an output screen. For that, I need to initialize something. Okay, I've initialized like brand and model num. I want to tell the computer whatever brand value will get store in self.brand, self.model num. If you don't use self. Sometimes you will get error. Okay, because here I want to display this thing, so I am creating method now. What I want to do, what I want to print in an output screen, for that I am passing self, because the self knows everything about what is brand, what is model num. So I'm saying hi, my brand is this, means it is referring to whatever value will get for self.brand, and model number is, and this is referring to my self.model num. You created like a class. Now what is like a very important thing, I need to create an object. I'm creating a particular variable for this, and what is my class name is bag. So guys, this is how we are creating an object. So here I'm creating object like this. So this is how you need to create an object. Once you create an object, actually whatever is existing in the like particular class and also object, we call like this. Object is instance of class. Instance means you have already defined, the way I told you, like you want to build a house. Okay, for that you need a rock and soil, for example. You are saying use rock and soil, then you are using method mix them. So you are using method mix them. So this is defined in your blueprint. Are you getting it? Blueprint means like a paper. You have a blueprint, a design given by the particular person. Now you are creating an object. Object is simply you are just instant, like you have instance of like class, means you are creating a real thing. You are following these things and you are making a real object, a real thing. That's like simply I'm having a house, I have built it on the basis of like whatever like blueprint I got. So that is like an object. So here you're creating an object. This is how we are creating an object. Once you created an object here, if you want to pass some arguments and all, you can pass it, no problem. But I need to tell you really important here. If you call this object, if you run it, it will give you error. Why it will give you error? You will be like, oh, I have used bag, I have not used any brackets, I have not passed it. Let me tell you, there is init method here only. This init constructor is going to tell this bag whenever you are going to call a function, I mean this particular class, this init is going to tell back, make sure you're going to remember brand and model number. Make sure you remember whenever anybody is going to call you, like this object is going to means this class, or when anybody is going to create an object, okay, at the time it means you have to call this back. Once you call back, this init is going to give a message that okay, make sure you're going to remember brand and model number. If you run it like this, it will give error. It will be like, okay, you are getting errors because you are not passing the values of like brand and model number. These two, what are these two? You are just having attributes. These are like something like parameters. Now you need arguments. Okay, so for that what you need to do, you have to give the value. So for I'm going to say HM, for example, okay, and model number, for example, 45. Okay, so once I did it, now it knows. See, if I use here a particular bag, so you can see it's saying DEF in its brand model number, means it knows that in it method has given the particular bag information that you need to give the value of brand and model number. Once you do it, just like functions, you are defining function, you are defining the parameters. Once you're calling it, you need to give values. Okay, it is compulsory. If you have three like parameters given, you have to give three values. Okay, so this is how we are using a particular object. Now very important thing is here, I created object, I have passed the brand value, model number value. Now I want to display this particular thing, I want to call this function. So how I'm going to call this like this function? For that, now each and every like value you have given, HM and 45 you have given into the bag. Okay, it means you have called it and it is getting stored in this object. Once you created this object, now this obj knows everything, that your brand name is HM and your model number is 45. So you have to use obj dot, and then how many functions, how many variables, class variables you have inside class, you can call it with this object only. So I'm going to call this function only, and then once you run this particular thing, you will get output, hi, my bag brand name is HM and my model number is 45. Is it clear, guys? Everything?
Yeah.
I have tried to make you understand in an easy way. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Excuse me,